Hi, it's Barbara with Dhrupad, Love and Cats. And today I want to talk to you about calluses. So if you play a string instrument, your fingers are not going to be happy. And in order to defend themselves, they are going to create calluses to protect themselves. And that's actually a great blessing. So that when your fingers go up and down a string, a metal string especially, it hurts. There's just no getting around it. And so the fingers form this protective layer of skin that's a little bit harder than our normal skin, and that is called a callus, and that helps to dull the pain of moving your fingers around on a steel string, a metal string. So I think it was painful for me for the first 2 weeks maybe of playing because you're running your fingers up and down these strings and you're pulling when you play the Veena. So there's a lot of pressure on those very delicate tips of your fingers. And there's nothing to be done about that pain. That is a natural response that our bodies have to that kind of pressure. So the only thing to do is to help the body create calluses. So there are a couple of things you can do. And the best thing was suggested to me by my teacher, Madhuvanti. And that is, you can see I use this quite a bit, henna. It's called a henna cone. And you can buy this at various places online. I only needed a part of one, so you don't need to buy a lot. One should do. And I will demonstrate with what you do. So the henna forms, you put it on at night in a kind of big blob and run it around. I'll show you. And you'll look like, you've been fingerprinted with some unusual substance. You put it on at night, let it dry, and you go to sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, it's quite a thick protective layer over your fingers. And you play with that. And I found it really helped with the pain a lot when I was playing for those first few weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, I would say. So I'll show you what you do. It's very messy stuff. And so it has this very sharp, not sharp, but pointed end. And you put a big blob, as much as you can, on your finger tip, and then spread it around. You can even put more than that. So kind of cover the whole tip of the finger, yeah. Might want to use more than that. Makes quite a wonderful mess. And then you can wash it off your right hand because you don't need it on your right hand. Your right hand isn't going to get any calluses. And then you've got a finger that looks something like that. And then you let it dry and go to sleep. And then you've got that protective layer that's going to help a lot with forming calluses. The other thing that really helps with forming calluses is just to keep running your fingers, as painful as it is, up and down the strings and just keep playing. And I think when I first started, I played mostly with there's that great henna, with the index finger, and that callus formed first. So I was mostly just doing work on the frets, just going up and down the fretboard. And then I think by the second week, I was pulling. And so this finger, the middle finger, the second finger, started to really hurt. And the callus started to build up on that, I would say, the second week. And because then I was pulling with two fingers. So I put henna also on this finger the second week. And then I think around the third week, this finger got into the action. And so I started putting henna on that, and then I was pulling with all three fingers. So the calluses will maybe develop sequentially for you like they did for me. The index finger was definitely first. And they get different kinds of calluses. The index finger callus is good and strong. I don't feel any pain anymore when I play, but it's not as big a callus as, let's say, this finger, the ring finger, the third finger on my hand. This is the one that has the biggest callus. Takes up a huge space on the finger. This one is the next, I would say, and then the index finger is the last. I also have a little callus on my pinky, but that's from playing guitar. Veena players don't use their left-hand pinkies, so that isn't going to form a callus. Your thumb also is not going to be used, so that will not get a callus either. Your right hand, as I mentioned, is not going to get any calluses. So it's just the left hand that's going up and down the fretboard. So I think those are the main things that helped. Oh, one more thing that really does help, and that is coconut oil. So if you have a small bottle of liquid coconut oil, so not something that you've put in your refrigerator to use for cooking or anything like that, but just liquid, just put a drop on your finger. I put it on my index finger, then I just rub it around, and that helps your hand glide up and down the strings, makes it so much easier for your hand to move, and that also helps with the pain when you're just starting to form your calluses. So I really recommend keeping a small bottle of coconut oil next to you when you play. And I think in 2 or 3 weeks you'll have your calluses and you won't have any pain anymore and you'll be all set. And I would like to tell you it's totally worth the pain. Playing Rudra Veena is so delightful and wonderful that a few weeks of pain is so worth it. And the henna will help, the coconut oil will help, your cats will help, everything will help. So good luck and let me know how it goes. Take care.